You are not born to remain stagnant. You are not forged by nature to merely drift, but to rise, to level up, to become more. Every day the world tests you, and every day the Stoic answers with calm, reason, and relentless will. These 11 ancient strategies are not just words, they are weapons. If you seek to become untouchable by chaos, stronger than excuses, and wiser than your emotions, listen carefully, because the man who levels up first masters his own mind. Conquer the morning, control the day. Each morning you are reborn. The sun does not rise to decorate the sky, it rises to give you another chance. The Stoic sees dawn not as a luxury, but as a call to arms. You are not owed the day, you must seize it. The first hour of your morning is not minor. It is where momentum begins or dies. Do you begin with discipline or distraction? Do you rise like a soldier or roll over like a slave to comfort? Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each day that life is duty. That comfort must be rejected in favor of purpose. He did not wish to rise, but he did. Why? Because the world needed him, and the world needs you too. Set a morning ritual so precise that it becomes sacred. Cold water to wake the senses, silence to calm the storm, reflection to sharpen the sword, movement to fuel the body. You are not preparing for the day. You are preparing for battle. Most people begin their day chasing notifications, emails, entertainment. The Stoic does not chase. He positions himself. He anchors his spirit before the winds of chaos arrive. To conquer the morning, you must conquer the mind. It will whisper lies. Stay in bed. You've earned it. You'll start tomorrow. Recognize that voice. It is the voice of weakness. It must not lead. Get up before the world wants you to. Begin while others are still lost in dreams. The early hours are your edge. They are silent, sacred, and yours. The morning is where men are separated. The average man hits snooze. The uncommon man hits the ground running. Which one are you? A conquered morning leads to a commanded day. When you win the first battle, the rest fall more easily. Each success builds upon the last, like bricks in a wall of victory. So rise early, rise with intent, rise like a man called to lead, because in the end, how you start determines how far you go. Master the art of self. Discipline. The world whispers temptations. The Stoic doesn't listen. He moves according to what is right, not what is easy. This is the highest form of freedom, to act with discipline, not desire. Discipline is not the enemy of joy. It is the foundation of lasting fulfillment. The man who trains his will becomes the master of his destiny. He is no longer pulled by urges, moods, or trends. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You must build up your life action by action, and be content if each one achieves its goal." This is the way of discipline, moment by moment, brick by brick. The man who waits for motivation will wait forever. Discipline doesn't wait. It shows up tired, uninspired, and still performs, because it was never about feeling. It was about duty. Think of the athlete. He trains on the days he hates it most. Think of the philosopher. He studies even when tired. Think of the warrior. He sharpens his blade whether there's war or peace. To master discipline, you must master the little decisions. You do not break down in big moments. You erode through small choices, skipping a task, compromising your standard, choosing pleasure over purpose. Each time you resist temptation, you prove to yourself that you are not a slave. You build a soul that obeys reason, not lust, that is rare in today's world, and that rarity is power. The man who trains his mind to obey principle becomes indestructible, because when hardship comes, and it will, he is already trained to persist, to endure, to push. Discipline is not punishment, it is preparation. It is a sword you carry everywhere, so when the fight comes, you are already ready. So wake up early, do the thing you fear, delay gratification, push when you want to quit. This is the path of leveling up. This is the path of the Stoic. Detach from what you can't control. You suffer most not from events, but from your refusal to accept them. A Stoic trains himself to know the line between what is his and what belongs to fate. That line is everything. Most men blur it, and in doing so, they blur their own peace. You cannot control the weather, the words of others, or the outcomes of every battle, but you can control your judgment, your reaction, your principles. That is enough. That is where freedom lies. The man who tries to control the world becomes exhausted. The man who controls himself becomes divine. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal, disease, war, and death, and yet his writings contain peace, clarity, and resolve. Why? Because he drew the line. He never let outer chaos pollute his inner stillness. Detach does not mean disconnect. It means act with full force, but release the outcome. Do your best, not with desperation, but with honor. The Stoic plows the field but does not demand the rain. Most people live in reaction. If someone insults them, they burn. If something goes wrong, they collapse. But the Stoic breathes, he pauses, he replies with calm, not because he is passive, but because he is precise. Let the world do what it will. Let fools talk. Let plans change. Let outcomes differ from expectation. You are not those things. You are the stillness inside them, the fire that does not flicker with every breeze. You level up when you stop needing the world to cooperate. You act not because of approval, but because of principle. You walk your path regardless of applause or attack. Every time you try to control the uncontrollable, you tighten a rope around your spirit. But every time you let go of what is not yours, your soul breathes deeper. There is no liberation like this, no possession greater than peace of mind. And it begins the moment you say, "This is not mine to control, but I will master what is." Detach. Focus. Rise. Use pain as fuel, not a cage pain as a forge. You can curse it, or you can step into it and emerge stronger. The Stoic chooses the second path. He does not ask to be spared suffering. He asks to be sharpened by it. Hardship reveals who you are when the armor is stripped away. That is why it must be welcomed, not with joy, but with purpose. Marcus Aurelius faced plague and loss, but he wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. To the untrained mind, pain is a prison." To the Stoic, it is a crucible. When your heart breaks, ask what it is teaching. When life denies you, ask what it is redirecting you toward. Every wound contains wisdom. Every fall holds a lesson, but only if you refuse to play victim. The Stoic does not cry, "Why me?" He says, "Try me." That mindset alone separates men from mice. The world is full of people trying to numb their pain through vice, distraction, or denial, but the Stoic feels it all. Not to suffer longer, but to emerge clearer. Pain faced becomes power gained. There are lessons only hardship teaches: resilience, gratitude, clarity, endurance. These virtues cannot be bought or inherited. They must be earned in the fire of suffering. Do not wish for an easy life. Wish for a strong back. Do not beg for mercy. Ask for the strength to endure what others fear. That is how men rise. That is how spirits ascend. Use pain. Let it break you open, not down. Let it carve away your weakness and leave only your essence. That is the Stoic path. If you are in pain now, good. It means you are being called to grow. Meet that call with open eyes. Meet it like a warrior. Let the world hurt you, and let that hurt make you holy. Live by principle, not preference. Most men drift because they lack a compass. They act on impulse, on convenience, on moods that pass like wind. But a Stoic is anchored. He builds his life not on what feels good, but on what is good. Principles are your armor in a world that constantly shifts. When everyone else bends to circumstance, the Stoic stands firm. His actions do not change with opinion or weather. They are rooted in reason, discipline, and moral clarity. Your preferences are unstable. Today you desire ease, tomorrow recognition, the next day escape. But principles do not waver. They guide you through fatigue, through pressure, through temptation. To live by principle is to choose the harder right over the easier wrong. To be just when revenge is easy. To be honest when deceit is profitable. To remain silent when arrogance tempts you to boast. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. He did not ask what felt right, he asked what was right. That is the Stoic discipline, to do the right thing regardless of how you feel about it. Preferences change with your mood, principles survive storms, they are your oath to your higher self. If you violate them, no applause can redeem you. If you keep them, no attack can destroy you. When you live by principle, your mind becomes clear. You stop overthinking. You stop negotiating with your conscience. You act. You know who you are, and you act from that place. This is the kind of man people trust, fear, admire, not because he is loud, but because he is consistent. His life is proof of his words. His behavior is his philosophy. To level up, you must become this man. Write your code, etch it into your soul, let no excuse break it, let no weakness shake it, and in time you will be known not for what you chase, but for what you stand for. Become a man who bends to principle, not to pressure. Silence the noise of the world. Noise is not just sound. It is anything that drowns out your inner voice. The modern world is loud, not with wisdom, but with distraction. A Stoic seeks stillness, not because he is weak, but because he is focused. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire and yet wrote in the quiet corners of his mind. He knew that power without reflection is chaos. He carved out silence, not just from the court, but from within himself. The man who constantly reacts, comments, argues, consumes, he is never truly present. He is scattered, pulled in 1,000 directions, but the Stoic trains himself to return to one, inward. You must create silence with intention. Put down the phone, close the laptop, step outside. Listen not to the noise of men, but to the call of conscience. That is where truth lives, not in likes, but in reflection. The Stoic practices detachment not only from things, but from noise, opinions, gossip, trends. These are the voices of the distracted, but your path requires clarity, and clarity requires solitude. In stillness, you can hear what matters. You can evaluate your choices, clean your thoughts, and remind yourself of your purpose. Noise will never do this for you. It only clouds your judgment and steals your time. Ask yourself, how much of your life is lived by your own voice, and how much is an echo of others? If the answer unsettles you, good. It means you're waking up. Silence is not absence. It is space. Space for strength, space for virtue, space for vision. Do not fear it. Seek it. Guard it. Let it become your advantage in a chaotic age. Every day, set aside time for stillness. Even 10 minutes of true silence will sharpen you more than hours of scattered activity. The Stoic thrives in peace, not because the world is quiet, but because he has quieted himself. Silence the world, not by muting it, but by mastering your mind within it. Practice voluntary hardship. Comfort is a liar. It whispers to you that you've done enough, that you deserve rest, that difficulty is unnecessary. But the Stoic knows that growth is born in adversity, not in ease, and so he trains himself to choose discomfort before life forces it upon him. To voluntarily embrace hardship is to build immunity to suffering. It is to become resilient by choice, not by crisis. Seneca fasted though he was wealthy. He slept on the floor though he owned silk. Why? To test himself, to remind himself that luxury is not strength. When you practice hardship, you learn that your fear of it was worse than the reality. Cold showers, fasting, waking early, hard physical labor, these are not punishments, they are medicine for the soft soul. Most men break not because the world is too hard, but because they have never made themselves harder. They chase comfort, and when life inevitably withdraws it, they shatter. But the Stoic has trained in the cold. He has prepared in the silence. He endures. Every act of voluntary hardship is a sharpening of the blade. You deny yourself now to fortify yourself later. You put down the pleasures of the moment to pick up the strength that lasts a lifetime. When you choose discomfort daily, pain becomes familiar. It does not shake you. It greets you like a sparring partner. You meet it with a smile because you've already danced with it in private. People admire strength, but few are willing to forge it. They think it is born, not built, but you know better. Strength is the result of hard days, hard decisions, and a hardened mind. Voluntary hardship is not about suffering for its own sake. It is about remembering that you are capable of more than comfort allows. It is about showing yourself every day that you are stronger than you once believed. Let the world chase ease. You chase difficulty, not because you hate comfort, but because you love excellence. And excellence is never found in the soft, padded, and predictable. A man who trains in hardship becomes one the world cannot break. Remember death and let it ignite you. Memento Mori. Remember, you will die. These words are not meant to depress you, but to awaken you. The Stoic reflects on death not with dread, but with urgency. It is the one truth that clarifies all others. You do not know how many mornings remain, how many more chances to tell the truth, how many more moments to become who you were meant to be. Most live as if they have forever. The Stoic knows. He does not. Marcus Aurelius said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Every breath is borrowed, every heartbeat a gift. Why waste them on vanity, delay, or regret? Death is not the enemy. It is the compass. It reminds you that time is more precious than gold, and wasting it is the greatest poverty. When you remember death, you stop postponing life." Procrastination dies when you face your mortality. Suddenly, that dream matters, that apology can't wait, that fear you've been avoiding must be conquered now, not tomorrow. The Stoic lives with fire because he knows the flame can go out at any time. He does not sleepwalk through life. He walks with purpose. He speaks with urgency. He loves with depth because death watches. This is not morbid. It is liberating. You become fearless, not because you don't fear death, but because you've already made peace with it. And now, nothing can hold you back. Memento Mori is not about dying. It's about truly living. It's about squeezing meaning from every moment, about walking through your day like it could be your last, because one day it will be. To remember death is to honor life, to waste neither breath nor opportunity, to stop being passive and become powerful. So look in the mirror and say it, "I will die, now. How will I live?" Surround yourself with the strong, not the loud. You cannot build a noble life among ignoble company. The people around you shape your energy, infect your thoughts, and influence your habits. A Stoic is ruthless in choosing his inner circle, not by charm, but by character. Do not mistake noise for strength. Many are loud with opinions but weak in action. Many speak of greatness but live in mediocrity. Surround yourself not with those who talk, but those who walk with discipline, with conviction, with clarity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." This is not elitism. This is alignment. The soul becomes what it feeds on. If you feed on gossip, you will rot. If you feed on virtue, you will rise. When you sit with men of substance, your standards rise. You talk not of people, but of purpose, not of trends, but of timeless truths. You sharpen each other as iron sharpens iron. But when you stay among the lazy, the bitter, the envious, your light dims, slowly, subtly, until you forget what you were aiming for. The path of greatness requires pruning. Not everyone can walk beside you. And that is not cruelty. That is clarity. You are not obligated to keep the company of those who drain your spirit. You owe no loyalty to those who mock your discipline or belittle your ambition. Your time is precious. Guard it with the same force you would guard a treasure, because that is what it is. The Stoic does not seek company to escape himself. He chooses companions who make solitude better when shared, who challenge him, not flatter him, who hold him accountable, not comfortable. Look at the 5 people closest to you. Do they reflect your future or your past? If they do not lift you, they will lower you. If they do not challenge you, they will weaken you. Level up your circle and your life will follow. Build your tribe with warriors, thinkers, doers, and watch how quickly your own power multiplies. Turn obstacles into opportunities. Every great life is built on the ruins of difficulty. You will not rise without resistance. But the Stoic learns to see differently. He does not curse the obstacle, he converts it. What blocks the path becomes the path. Marcus Aurelius, facing plagues and invasions, wrote, "The impediment to action advances action." The Stoic philosophy does not remove hardship, it teaches you how to use it. This is not fantasy, this is power. Life will not make your path smooth, but it will make you strong. Every setback is a summons. Every failure contains a hidden opportunity, but only the disciplined eye can see it. Most men fold when things go wrong. They lose momentum, motivation, belief. But the Stoic asks, what can I gain here? What skill must I sharpen? What flaw must I burn away? Obstacles reveal. They expose your gaps, your impatience, your ego, your lack of preparation. But they also give you a chance to fill those gaps, to become more, to stretch beyond comfort into capability. The obstacle is not the end. It is the invitation to begin again, wiser and stronger. The mountain doesn't move, but you can climb. The storm doesn't stop, but you can build a stronger ship. When you adopt this mindset, you become untouchable. Nothing ruins you. Nothing breaks you. Every difficulty only chisels more definition into your character. The Stoic thanks the obstacle, not because it is pleasant, but because it is a portal. It forces growth. It demands adaptation, and those who adapt win. So the next time life blocks you, smile. You've been given your next training ground. Meet it, master it, move forward, because the obstacle is not in your way. It is the way. Live each day as if you've been summoned to greatness. You are not here by accident. You are here with breath in your lungs, strength in your limbs, and reason in your mind. That alone is proof you have been summoned. The question is, will you answer the call? The Stoic wakes each morning not to survive, but to serve virtue, to serve reason, to serve mankind. There is no waiting for greatness to arrive. There is only choosing to rise today. Marcus Aurelius said, when you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. That mindset changes everything. It turns an ordinary day into a battleground for excellence. You do not need more time, you need more urgency. You do not need a perfect plan, you need present action. Too many delay their destiny, thinking it lives in the future. But greatness is found in how you conduct this hour, this task, this thought. What if this was your last sunrise? Would you waste it scrolling? Would you argue, complain, shrink? Or would you speak your truth, move with fire, and live with fierce integrity? The man who levels up sees every day as sacred. He does not sleepwalk. He does not numb himself. He brings full intensity to the life he has, because he understands he may not have it tomorrow. You've been given today. That is your mission field. Don't insult it by acting small. Don't insult it by waiting for permission. The Stoic acts now, boldly, humbly, fearlessly. Your life is your message to the world. Let it say, I lived with purpose. I stood for virtue. I answered the call. Let the world be different because you walked through it with intention. Greatness isn't a future event. It is a present decision. Decide now. You are not made for softness. You are not born to bow to impulse, noise, or comfort. You were sculpted by nature, by trial, by reason to rise. So level up, not once, but daily, with fire in your chest and calm in your soul. Let these 11 Stoic strategies become your armor, your sword, your shield, and let the world see what a man looks like when he walks the earth with purpose, like a philosopher, like a warrior, like a king.